maybe some like higher level perspective. Like in your mind, think of the best shooting 9-year-old. Okay, like what does the best shooting 9-year-old look like? They can maybe raise the puck. They can maybe like hit the crossbar. But like they don't really know how to shoot, right? Like they do the big long sweep, and the kids that can shoot best at that age, that's kind of what they're doing. It's not like they're fantastic technical shooters. They just learned how to raise the puck first and whatever. And so like the gap,
They
what,
practiced shooting for 4 years.
right?
Yeah.
So what looks like a huge gap isn't actually as big as it seems, because if your kid practices for a couple hours throughout the week, he'll start to be able to raise the puck and get close to hitting it. And then you'll be like, holy cow, like what a great shot. And it's still not really a great shot in actual hockey as they get older. So my point of bringing that up as an example is like the gap that you're seeing at that age is not as big as it seems necessarily, because of how fast the kids can learn and develop some skill, you know? So the kids that are usually the best when they're that young are the kids that can raise the puck or they can skate the fastest. Like those are the kids that are the best. They can skate through everybody because they learned how to skate first, and they can raise the puck before everybody. So the goalie's that's 3'4" in the net, he can't actually reach up there very well, right? So it's not real hockey skill. So the discrepancy between that top end kid and obviously if the kid doesn't know how to skate at all, then we got some work to do. But like the difference between the median kid of that age and the top end kid is not actually that big. So there's a lot of room to catch up, is my point, I think, right? So that's one. The next piece of this that I was kind of keyed in on was this line. He spent the last season playing 5 or 6 days a week, plus practicing on his own, and is still not catching up to his teammates who practice half the time and don't put in nearly as much effort. So I don't know. I don't understand if she's saying maybe he's on a team but didn't make a specific team or something. So, but my thing that I'm keying in on this is the 5-6 days a week, because then a little bit later, Mom's talking about this has been a huge time and money expense on my part. So, what's my question to you?
Your question is that too much?
I have something like that. Like, what do we think about the time? Okay, so if you're the unexpected hockey mom now. You, Andy, are the mom, right? And you have to decide.
I'm a woman. I'm a handsome woman.
You are a handsome woman, right? So you have to decide what to do with this kid now. So what would you do in this situation where last season you spent 5-6 days a week? I'm assuming these are things you have to pay for, running around, because she said playing 5-6 days a week plus time on his own. So time on his own would be, we don't have to pay for that. So that would indicate to me that the other 5-6 things are something you probably have to pay some money for in terms of going to sessions to play or practice or whatever. So what would you advise in terms of the time delineation on what to spend your time on, or how many times to spend per week doing whatever, or paying for things, and that kind of question?
Okay, so I'm going to assume that I'll assume that they're clinics of some sort, if that's based on that conversation. If they're clinics, like, then I start to have a problem with it, because not a problem with them, but I think you're not going to be a better hockey player in general by doing clinics after clinic after clinic. You have to play hockey. That's what you have to do. So if he's not playing on a team and he's going to a whole bunch of clinics, then he's going to be good at going to clinics. So I've seen a lot of players, like there was one kid out there today that one of our coaches said that the kid could shoot a puck. He's got to be a pretty good player. And I said, watch him skate and watch him process. He goes, oh yeah, okay. He goes, like, he could shoot though. I go, yeah, he's probably shot a lot of pucks, which is great. So going to a lot of clinics, that what happens is your brain, if you're not playing, especially, there's a dude here in town that wanted to do that years ago. He was actually, and he had customers in Windsor, Ontario, where it was like, don't play because we're going to just train you to be an NHL player. Like, we'll train you to get to junior and stuff. And it's like, wow.
Yeah. I remember this guy. He was around when I was a kid in minor hockey.
Ridiculous. So it's like, first of all, the aspect of training as a young person, training hockey is like, it's not playing hockey. You're training hockey. It doesn't make any sense. You play hockey. You don't train hockey until you get to be a hockey player. Then you have to train to be then you train because you're that good. you're training specifically for it. But like as a young kid to train to be a hockey player doesn't make any sense. So you play hockey and then you do things to make yourself better. And whether that's a clinic, yes, you can go to some. I'm not saying don't go to some, but or go to lots. It doesn't. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you need to do, but um, trust me on this. Like going through pylons and all that kind of stuff is not going to make you a better player. Someone always telling you what to do. Your greatest moments or your greatest learning is just by playing and being able to think for yourself. So if everyone's saying, okay, now you turn left, now you turn right, now you keep your head up, now do this, don't do that. No, we're only shooting this way today. It's like you're taking the fun to a certain degree. You're taking the fun, you're taking the creativity out of it. So, anyways, if you're going to all the clinics all the time, that's what you're doing. You're spending money for no. You're spending a lot of money to get you nowhere because you have no idea. What I would say is play the game. Play the game, play the game as much as you can, and then your son or daughter will practice on their own, and because they love hockey. And then if they start achieving something in hockey, or you see it's going somewhere, then maybe you can get a little bit more specific in the training. I guess I'm not a fan of training, like hockey schools and stuff. I'm not a big fan of that.
Not anymore.
I never really was like because there's a time, and I say that I say that owning a hockey company, but I'm not. I don't sit here and want every person to come every time. There's a time and a place for everything. Is my point, and it needs to be good training for a certain level. I think now younger kids they want to come out and go through a whole bunch of pylons, and it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But that's not going to make you a superstar hockey player.
Yeah. So I
know I'm all over that, but
no, this is good because then we tighten it as we keep going. What I was saying to mom basically was broader scope is like, what is the issue? Is the issue that the kid doesn't understand how to play, or is it that he has no skills? Right. So at that age,
or doesn't play. Does he have a team?
Yeah. Right. So but at that age it would be both. Right. But if you're going to spend money, like my thing is, if I assume that they're spending 5 or 6 days a week going to things they have to pay for, my advice was, okay, let's pull that back. And what do you actually need to pay for? So if I'm mom and I know nothing and my kid doesn't know how to skate, maybe I say, okay, I'm going to pay for some kind of a skating lesson, right? Whether it's a power skating, a treadmill, or whatever, right? And even if the teaching isn't phenomenal, like get on the ice and work on skating if it's that obvious. So as that was my example. Is like, so now if you peel it back to twice a week and you pay for that thing that will give you the most return because that's actually what he needs some coaching on, now your dollars are better spent. You're getting more out of your money having a focused purpose with the thing that you pay for. So if it's like, I know nothing about hockey and my kid clearly can't keep up with anyone on the ice because he doesn't know how to skate very well, then maybe I'll do that. If it's my kid, every time it touches its stick, it explodes off his stick, and I don't know how to teach the kid stick handling, then okay, maybe you do stick handling twice a week and not skating and not shooting and not all this other crap. So my point being, spend your dollars in a purposeful way. Don't just spend all your dollars, because then you end up with, she's feeling burnt out. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of money. And she's like, I don't see the return. I don't see him catching up or getting better or whatever. And so if you put him in everything, I was kind of saying the more isn't always better. If you put him in everything all the time, then you're wasting time and wasting money because he doesn't need everything all the time. So whatever it is, like pick 1 or 2 things that you want to go pay for that are going to, you think, pull up the worst parts of him most. And then the rest of the time, he can do stuff at home. Like, dude, like,
yes, you can do a lot at home.
Man, like I don't know, like, and I did not practice all day, every day, all the time. Like I played other sports. I hung out with buddies. I played school sports. I did other things. So I'm not sitting here saying like all I did was practice all day, every day, but I practiced a lot. And my dad purposely built our house on a cul-de-sac so that there was no traffic. And it was the best thing ever. Like I want to buy a house one day on a cul-de-sac because of this. So I could skate around on my rollerblades in my cul-de-sac all night, and I did a lot of that. And the older I got, the more of that I did. I never paid. I always say this. I did the one camp with you at the end of summer. That was it. That was all my dad paid for. I did once the treadmill was a thing. I would come and do treadmill workouts once a week, but that was until I was like 15,
yeah, 16, 15,
right?
yeah.
So it doesn't have to be pay for it. And I was a good skater, and I could shoot the puck, and I could handle the puck. And was I Connor McDavid? No, I wasn't. If I paid for more, would I have been Connor McDavid? No. you know? So it doesn't have to be so much volume that you have to pay for. If the kid wants to play and have fun and he's really interested in it, he's going to be picking up the hockey stick all the time. He's going to do a lot of it himself.
It's funny. So we had one person here that was decided that he wanted to be a hockey player at 16, right? And maybe he decided that at 14 or whatever, or 12. If he decided it early, then everything he's doing is not working, which is fine, right? But like, let's say he was on this path for a long time. It's like, it's clearly not working. If you just decided to get to be a hockey player at 15, 16, it's like, it's not working. And there's a whole lot of missing pieces. So like, kind of to that question that the lady that wrote in asked, some people have it, some people don't. Well, I think everybody can learn stuff, and some people seem to be. I don't want to say they are. It's a weird thing, but some people have a knack for being good at sports, and some people have a knack for being good at plumbing and fixing things and stuff like that. But I think it's just what you're exposed to. But I think it's the most important thing is how engaged you are in actually the learning process. And like for the one person that was coming here, and was dead serious, they were doing everything they possibly could, like to the point it's like, well, it's ridiculous.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. Go to bed.
Go to bed.
But look at it's like if I pick up a guitar right now, right? And I'm saying I'm dead serious about this now, and I go to every lesson, and you see after 3-4 months that it's like, okay, you're spending money all over the place, and you do whatever you want, man. Do whatever you want, but like you can get caught thinking that it's easy, right? Like you're the hockey guy, the kid playing hockey he was unrealistic, and he was expecting results really quickly, and like there's nothing there, zero, like zero. But part of the reason is because there was a arrogant way of approaching this situation. Instead of saying, okay, being honest and watch yourself skate, like, because there's video all over the place of him skating. If you watch yourself skate, does your skating look like anybody else's? It's a very, very different than everybody else on the ice, and it's not different in a better way. So that's an issue. If you're actually serious about this, so you're gonna have to learn how to skate properly, and you can't do it at a clinic with 24 guys all the time, or 30 guys or whatever, because or at the academy, let's say, because we're not just here just for you, right? So you have to that would have to be a private thing or semi-private thing to work out the kinks, or which is fine, go on your own and take a YouTube video, because we have that now, or to do it yourself, and it takes time, but you got to do the hard part. So one day he asked me, what do I need to work on? I try to be polite, right? Someone said, I try out for a team. They said, you need to work on your skating. So my answer should have been, well, of course, your skating is not the only thing you need to work on. You have to work on every single aspect of hockey, because you don't have one thing. But let's just say it is your skating. I said, I'll give you some stuff today that you need to focus on. Well, when it came to do the work, he wanted to skip through it because he wanted to get through. Like, no, I'm good though. You know what I mean? Like the attitude wasn't like he wasn't going to grind through it, so it wasn't going to happen. So anyways, to the customer that called in, or the client that called in, it's like, got to just like have a clue. Like you're a mom. If you're looking at it, if you look at it objectively, looking at your kid on the ice, does he skate like the rest of them? Like, is he like really, really bad, or is he not bad? If he's not bad, then maybe there's something there, and it's just going to take some time, right? Might just take some time.
And
A year is not a lot of time.